So our next two speakers are here to speak about some graphic images that were found in several of our books. All of you on the board actually were sent an email about the topic that contains some of those images that are found in some of our KCS middle and high schools. But that email was actually filtered and quarantined by KCS's email system, which is a bit concerning. Dr. Ryswick and I have spoken about it. And the folks that are here would rather actually find a solution than create a stir, which I appreciate that very much. And so Dr. Ryswick has some steps he is taking to address some of that issue. So rather than them speak, they're willing to listen to his concern. I think he's also going to speak to something about the special ed and the RFP. But I will turn that over to Ms. Henderson and Dr. Ryswick.
Thank you, Mr. Triplett. I just wanted to take a moment as the board chair to address some of the comments that were brought to my attention this evening, in addition to numerous messages I've received over the past week. I want to be clear that I firmly believe in academic freedom and texts that challenge us. However, the books that have been brought to our attention this week are not challenging texts. Parents have come to us with books that contain sexually explicit imagery, and that's not academic freedom. That's inappropriate content for minors. I don't think anyone up here would be for sexually explicit imagery. Prior to this meeting, I independently verified that the books that were brought to our attention are indeed in our libraries for students to check out, and these books are paid for by taxpayer dollars. Dr. Ryswick, I truly appreciated your presentation on data this week, and your staff did a phenomenal job. As chair, I'm requesting a similar presentation from you and your staff to present to us the current process to challenge a book, the process of book selection, and any recommended changes you have going forward to avoid sexually explicit imagery in our schools.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I would agree. I think, I understand, too, as a person, the concerns in our community around some of the materials in some of those books. It's always difficult to define, when you're looking at materials and media, to define obscene and profane. I know we've had long conversations with that, even with the law department, and that's not an easy definition. So it is a complex subject. As a father, I don't want my daughter to have access to that either. She's a Knox County student. But as an educator, as you've stated, I think part of exposure to diverse ideas and viewpoints is part of the education and what we grow, but we do need to make sure that it's age appropriate, the things that they're exposed to. I also agree, as an organization, using taxpayer dollars to buy profane or obscene materials is not what those dollars are given to us for. I do want to point out, though, that our librarians under Sarah Searle's leadership, who does an incredible job, do a tremendous job every day, and they really work hard in that gray area that we're talking about to try to find books of interest to students and really to try to build that love of reading for them. So I want to be clear that we applaud the work that they do to try to kind of walk that line and make sure that happens. And I would say, and we've talked a lot about spirit of continuous improvement in lots of areas. We heard some of those tonight, and I would like to say something about the special ed in just a second. But I have Dr. Wilson and I have had some conversations today. I know he's talked with Ms. Searles as well, and we would like to your point, bring something in April. I think those are the two areas I think that we're most vulnerable to and need to look at to make sure we're tight on our selection process, how that happens, making sure that we can bring, and if there's places we can improve that we can bring that to you all in April. And then also, how do we review our current process? There's things in place for that, but how do we make sure, how can we be, to your point, transparent about that process so that folks understand that? So we'll make sure, again, you guys who know Ms. Searles know she's pretty incredible, and we want to get better, and we want to be good at that. So thank you for that request. We'll be ready in April.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. Ryswick.
There are Sherry and Sherry. Do either of you want to speak, or you're good? You just wait and see what the... Okay, very good. That concludes public forum, Madam Chair.